Today, we find ourselves witnessing a world tangled in complex and deeply significant events, each carrying weight far beyond the headlines. In Gaza, tragedy unfolded with the Israeli airstrikes striking a hospital in Khan Yunis, creating shockwaves globally. About 20 lives were lost, including 5 courageous journalists who were there to tell the stories of a region caught in conflict. What makes this even more harrowing is that the hospital, usually a sanctuary of healing, became a battlefield. Reports describe how the strike happened twice, the first attack hitting the hospital, and then just as first responders and journalists rushed to help, a second strike struck again. This tactic, often referred to as a double tap, is condemned by many international experts as a violation of humanitarian law. The attacks damaged vital parts of the hospital, including emergency and surgical wards, turning a place meant to save lives into a scene of sorrow and confusion. The world's eyes now turn to calls for ceasefires and protection of medical personnel and civilians, with leaders and organizations urging immediate action to prevent further bloodshed. The humanity of this moment reminds us how vulnerable civilians often become in the crossfire of larger geopolitical struggles, and it presses the need for compassion and urgent dialogue as peace remains elusive. Across a different sphere of international diplomacy, a potentially groundbreaking development is stirring as former US President Donald Trump shows renewed interest in engaging with North Korea. There are talks about a possible meeting with Kim Jong-un later this year, suggesting an opportunity to revive dialogues that have been dormant for years. Such a diplomatic gesture carries immense implications for regional security and global stability. It offers a glimpse of hope that through conversation and negotiation, old tensions might be eased and pathways toward peace could be forged. Yet, history reminds us that these talks are delicate and often fraught with setbacks. Whether this meeting will gain concrete momentum remains to be seen, but it unquestionably adds a fascinating chapter to the ever-shifting narrative of international relations. Meanwhile, the diplomatic landscape continues to ripple with tension as Australia took the bold step of expelling the Iranian ambassador. This action stems from Australia's accusations linking Iran to anti-Semitic arson attacks in cities like Melbourne and Sydney. It marks a significant diplomatic rupture, highlighting the tangled web of state responsibility, security concerns, and justice in today's global arena. This move sends a firm message about intolerance for violence and hate crimes, while also complicating diplomatic efforts between the nations involved. Trade and labor dynamics are also creating a ripple effect across continents. The United States plans to levy an additional 25% tariff on Indian imports, an escalation in trade tensions that can have profound effects on businesses, consumers, and the broader economies of both nations. In response, India has projected resilience, signaling that while the challenges are real, they intend to navigate this tension without yielding undue pressure. Trade disputes like this inevitably influence global supply chains,